Yuji finally managed to establish the connection with Megumi, but as soon as he gets the chance to save him, Megumi has already lost the will to live, but he doesn't even care about coming back or the consequences of that decision. This pushed a lot of people to call Megumi the biggest backseller of all time. And while I'm not going to deny the fact that he sold, I kinda wanna shed some light on Megumi's character and why that decision makes sense, especially compared to a character like Yuji, because the main argument that I've seen about Megumi is the fact that Yuji pushed through in Shibuya, but this is ignoring a lot of context. In this video, we're going to talk about Yuji and Megumi's character as well as why everything makes sense. If you enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoy. And now, let's get into it. So as I said already, this video is not to defend Megumi. I'm not in no way saying that he did the right thing, especially considering that so many people died trying to save him. So the first thing that I need to address is the fact that Yuji did not do any better than Megumi in Shibuya. But before we get into it, I have an announcement for you. If you're looking for some good quality clothing at a good price, look no further than Anime Express. Whether you're looking for comfort or style, they would have everything you need. Literally everything from all of your favorite series. Of course, they have Jujutsu Kaisen, but they also have a multitude of other series. And on top of basic clothing, they have all sorts of accessories, whether it is for you or simply to decorate your house. Things such as bonnets, rings, lights, or whatever you would want. If you want to support my channel or simply get some good clothing for yourself, go over at animeexpress.store. And before your purchase, don't forget to use code GodlyOmen10 for 10% off. Hopefully you find something for you, and thanks to Anime Express for sponsoring this video. Let's look at both situations in a fair way. So right after Yuji got the control of his body again, he realizes that Sukuna committed a genocide in Shibuya. Even though he was clearly hurt, he decides to get up and go and try to do as much good as he can. That would be the least he can do to even balance out the bad that he committed. But the first thing he notices after running into Mahito is Nanami's death. Yuji first rages and tries to kill Mahito right away, but as the battle continues, Nobara ends up dying as well. In that moment, Yuji completely lost all hope, no longer having the will to fight and even letting Mahito do whatever he wants. But right when Mahito is about to kill him, Todo intervenes. But even after seeing Todo, Yuji still refuses to fight. Todo has to give him the best speech of his life for him to understand his responsibilities, for him to understand that even though those people died, he still has to move forward and continue even more. Without Todo being here, Yuji would have just let Mahito kill him, and things would have been over the same way things are looking for Megumi right now. And ever since the beginning of the story, Yuji has been presented to us as a way more positive character than Megumi is. But even at that, a character like Yuji, who's very positive, who will always do his best in order to create good around him. No matter what happens before, he will try to fix it and make the situation better. A character with this mentality was ready to let it all end. And even after being beat up, saved, he still didn't want to fight. After Todo, one of the Jujutsu sorcerers is the closest to, gave him a pep talk, is when he decided to actually fight. We then get Megumi's situation. Megumi, a character who has been shown multiple times to not be as optimistic as Yuji is. While training with Gojo or even during the baseball game, Gojo consistently tells Megumi that he doesn't try hard enough and that is what is hindering his potential. It has been clearly established multiple times that Megumi does not have as much spirit as a character like Yuji, who will always try to go for an home run. He is then faced in a situation that is way worse than what happened to Yuji in Shibuya, at least from his perspective. Even though Megumi does care about saving people, he is aware of what it means to be a Jujutsu sorcerer, so he knows that people dying around him is only the natural order of things. It's only when it's about somebody that actually matters to him that Megumi actually tries his best. The people that Megumi is closest from are his sister Tsumiki and his teacher Gojo. Gojo, who was a father figure ever since he was a kid. Megumi then had to watch himself hurt Angel, the person that just saved his life. He then proceeds to hurt his best friend Yuji. Sukuna then goes through the buff that is supposed to suppress Megumi's soul even more, to right after kill Tsumiki and Gojo, what he is closest to. This is the equivalent of Sukuna taking control of Yuji's body in Shibuya and killing Nanami and Nobara himself. Yuji had to witness their death, but what if he was the one to kill them directly? His reaction would have been even worse than what happened in Shibuya. But while seeing Yuji there, everybody felt like Yuji was just being realistic. It makes sense for somebody as young as him, that wasn't even a Jujutsu sorcerer for that long, to be this depressed. Completely agree with that fact. But the beginning of the series really shows us that Yuji isn't that close to anybody. Of course he loved his grandpa and he had friends in school, but he never had any family like Megumi did. Megumi's main worries about being sold to the Zenin clan was what would happen to his sister. He didn't even care about his own fate. He simply wanted Tsumiki to be safe. Gojo then proceeds to help him and help his sister, allowing both of them to have a good life. Gojo and Tsumiki basically represent everything from Megumi. Yuji on the other hand only just met Nobara and Nanami, not denying the fact fact that they are close, but of course they are going to have different reactions when both of these events happen, especially with the fact that Yuji didn't kill them directly while Megumi did. Megumi had to watch his buddy flirt with his sister's buddy and then kill her. That already should have been enough to make him depressed, but he then had to witness Gojo dying as well from his own hands. Now the only person who is remotely close to Todo who will try and save him from that is Yuji himself, but we didn't even see Yuji attempt that yet, if he even gets the opportunity again. So while it is true that Megumi sold the bag, it still doesn't mean anything, because Megumi is literally in the same state that Yuji was in after Todo got here. Megumi didn't get any motivation or anything to push him to try even harder. Honestly, I would just say that both situations are equally as bad. Have Yuji, somebody that cares about the safety of everybody, who couldn't even kill transfigured humans even though they are basically already dead. We had to see him kill so many innocent people, to then witness one of his best friends and the teacher that took very good care of him, to then witness both of their deaths in his own eyes because he was too weak to even do anything about it. Then we have Megumi, a person who is very different. Even at the beginning of the series, telling Yuji that he didn't really care about criminals and things along those lines. He already understood the reality of a Jujutsu sorcerer and wasn't as righteous as Yuji was. But on the flip side, he had people that he genuinely cared about, people that he would prioritize before himself. He had to kill those people with his own hand, on top of other things like the bath and the unlimited void. Let me know in the comments who do you think got it the worst between Megumi and Yuji. But from their respective perspectives, they both suffered equally. And if Yuji, who has way more spirit than Megumi, was going to stay on the ground, I don't know what people expect Megumi to do. Another difference in the situation is that there are people dying to save Megumi. Therefore, it is very disappointing to see him not even caring after those people are dying and more people are probably going to die again. He's going to lose everybody just like that because of a decision he made, which is probably even hurt him more later on. But like I said, this isn't a video about who is better or who is right between the two. This is a video explaining why they both make sense and why their decision and reactions make sense. Personally, I was expecting Megumi to react like he did, or to even become a villain because he now has the right to the merger. So once again, I would like to clarify, Sukuna does not have the rights to the merger, Megumi does. All this to say, Megumi might in fact be the biggest bag seller of this generation, or in history. But to say that you feel for Yuji and understand his suffering and that everything is realistic, to then hate on Megumi for doing the same thing is absolutely insane. Like there was some great writing going into those scenes, showing us that things don't always go how we want to. And even though right there the plan was perfect, there were a lot of casualties, but we still got the opportunity to save Megumi, exactly what everybody was aiming for. To then realize that Megumi himself doesn't care about coming back, basically ruining it for everybody, proving that not everything goes the way we want them to go, and there are always events or actions we aren't prepared for, even if they come from the people you expected the least. Also showing us the consequences of that, because the second Megumi refused to come back, Yuta got cut in two and it's not looking good for Yuji either, which shows us how similar and different they are. Yuji would be in the same state, but after realizing his responsibilities, seeing what he has to accomplish and what will happen if he doesn't do what he has to do, would have immediately got up and would have tried to change things. In Shibuya, it took Todo for him to realize that, but at least the moment he realized it, he decided to fight. Megumi, on the other hand, doesn't care anymore. Doesn't matter what the consequences can be, he just doesn't care about the rest. What there was to be alive for is already gone. But this whole situation is also very good for the story, because everything always comes full circle. And after Shibuya, after Todo's speech, and after his battle against Mahito, Yuji was still very down. He was doing the best to make up for his sins by at least exterminating the curses and cleaning up the mess from Shibuya. And even when Yuta tried to kill him, he was still holding back because he wanted to die. He was only after his conversation with Megumi that he was able to understand, that he was able to have a new purpose, a reason to be alive. It would now be perfect for Yuji to be the one to give a purpose to Megumi, making him understand that even though those who he cares about are already dead, he still has to live on and honor their memories, or their deaths will be in vain. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoyed. I am currently trying to reach 2,000 subs and I'm counting on y'all for that. And if you found this video interesting, you have multiple options on your screen. You can see some of my recent videos or videos that would interest you that you see on your screen, or you could just click on the link to my channel. Right there you could see everything I have and find something that suits you. I appreciate y'all for making it to this point, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.